All right. I believe we're live now. Just have to wait for viewers to come in. We got one viewing, it says. I don't know. That might be my own. You guys will have to start hitting the chat messages when you come in so I can see them, and then we'll get going on our motherboard project tonight. This is what the Thursday streams are going to become, whether they're at 6 or 7. I don't know how they're going to go yet. I'm going to turn my phone down, turn the stream up, or I'm going to turn my phone on and the stream down so I can see the chat. So you see the motherboard. If you're watching, you'll see the motherboard sitting right there. This is tonight's motherboard. We'll wait for a few more people to get in here. I only see one watching now, so make sure you type in a message when you get in here. So if you come into the live stream, type a message so I know that you're here. That way we can get started right here. Get started on our motherboard project. I'll tell you what subscriber I made a deal with to get these after we get a few more people in here. He said I could give him a shout out, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. He gave me a great deal on this stuff. We may have done a little trading, and he still gave me a great deal. This is a mystery board to me, though. It says it's a hi-fi. It's a BioStar Hi-Fi A as in Apple 85W. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it does have an AMD cooler on it, which tells me it could possibly be an A-series AMD. So if you know the A-series, they were APUs, and we're going to figure that out because when we go to test it, guess what we're going to do? We're going to test it off the... Do we got an HDMI port on the motherboard maybe? Yes, we do. So we'll test off that. I'll go ahead and start getting the cabling on this board. We'll get all of our cables hooked up here. We get a couple more people in. We'll go ahead and start working on this thing. I'm just going to go ahead and start working on it. People can come in as they get going. So we're going to test this thing. We don't really need an Ethernet cable to do that, so I'm not really worried about plugging that in right now. We do have a PS2 port on it, and you guys and gals know how I like that. So the PS2 port is on it. We do not have memory in this one. So I got some memory laid out, some on top of the power supply there. Let's get the HDMI plugged in, because if I'm right, and it is an A-series APU, then this is how we're going to test that theory. Well, that and seeing if it lights up or not. I don't know what it's going to do here. So we're going to go in 2 and 4 on our memory slots right here that the power supply is conveniently hiding for us. Go ahead and start chatting if you're watching. Let me know that you're there. Say hi, say whatever you want. Put your bets in on whether or not it's going to light up and work. You can start placing your bets now. We're going to stick the memory in this thing, and we are going to find out whether or not it works. And let me know if the audio is working too. I know that the live stream's up and working because I can see it on my phone. What are we doing here? That memory is warped. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, if it shows it, but that memory is definitely warped. We're going to bend it back a little, and we're going to see if we can make it plug into this board here. I don't think I've ever seen memory warp quite that bad. And it's a matching stick to the one we just put in, so that's kind of odd. Let me go ahead and break everything here. That would be good too. So we got the power hooked up. We got our 4-pin hooked up right here on the motherboard for the CPU. Let me know if the microphone's coming in okay, if you can hear me clearly or not. I see we're getting a few more people in here now. So this is what Thursday nights have turned into. I'm not uploading videos on Thursday nights anymore. We're just going to do live streams. And I was away last week for my uncle's funeral. So I wasn't able to do the Thursday night live stream, but we did the normal Tuesday night video drop. Tuesday nights are still going to be video drops. Thursday nights are going to be live streams. That's just how it's going to go. Do I have the chat disabled, maybe? I haven't seen one chat message. Maybe I'll chat myself here to make sure it's not. How's that? Yep. Okay, so the live chat is working. There we go right there. I've confirmed it. It does work. So we have put 2 sticks of memory in this, and I believe it was 2 4-gig modules to make 8 gigs of RAM. We have a mystery motherboard, so a mystery CPU, and we don't even know if it works. Thank you. I appreciate that, David. I've used this mic once on a live stream. This is the second time for it, so it seemed like it worked the last time pretty good. I'm glad we got it going again. All right, so we're plugged in now, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to fire it up. You ready to give it a test? Let me turn the power switch on, smell for smoke. Yep, we're not burning anything down, and is this going to have a nice little button for me? I believe it does. It has a power button on it. I don't see any lights on it, though, so no green lights or anything like that, but let's hit the button. Alrighty, we have fans spinning. We're going to look for a display here. I don't know what CPU is in this, so we may have to put a graphics card in it to get it to post. We do got some numbers going on the motherboard there. And we don't know if the memory's any good or not, or if it likes the memory, because we know how picky this stuff can be. But so far, we're not getting anything to show that this one is posting. So I hit the caps lock a couple times, and it looks like we're stuck on a postcode of 54 on this motherboard right here. So my first thoughts is it's probably memory. So let's cut it down to 1 stick and try that. We're going to just entertain the idea of it being memory because that's likely the biggest culprit. So if we go with a single stick here, I'm going to go into the first slot. Turn that on, fire this back up, and let's hit the power switch again. I think we're getting the same code. Let's see if we post, though. I'd really like to see what it is without pulling the CPU cooler off. But if we can't get it to post, we will do that to see what it is. No luck on this one yet. So let's go ahead and swap this memory out entirely with some different memory. And that's what we do here. We might have to go through, 10, 15 sticks of memory before we find one that it might be happy with, or it might not be happy with any of them. I don't know yet. So let's go. Here we go for about the third try here. Swapping the memory again. Looks like we're stuck on the same postcode. And we're not going past it yet. I guess we could do like the last motherboard I put up here and just go through all the memory slots. I guess that's a thought. We got the same postcode, nothing happening. So let's do that. Let's just go all the way to the back here. This is where I had luck on the gigabyte board that we did on the last live stream a couple of weeks ago. So let's see if we have any luck here. Maybe we should clear the CMOS out too. I think that's what that does. So here we go one more time. And postcode's looking the same. Reset that. Reset it again. When I hit that reset, it does make the numbers change, so I'd assume that's the CMOS that it's resetting. We got nothing. I don't know if this memory I'm using is any good, though. I can't ever remember using this memory before. I don't know if it's any good or if this thing even likes it. And that's the problem. You'll just get memory that, I don't know, it could be really old DDR3. And if this is one of the A series boards, it was a little particular when it come to memory, if I recall anyway. I used to build the A-series systems for gaming back in the day. My kids gamed on them a lot. They were a cheap one to build, and you could actually crossfire the APU with a certain GPU. And I'm wanting to say it was the R9 270s, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong there. But you used to be able to crossfire with the APU, which was pretty cool. I'm going to grab some different memory. So I have a motherboard laying around here that's got our known good memory, known good DDR3 memory in it, and I'm going to find it and I'm going to grab that memory. Because we may be having a problem with the memory on this one. That's my first thought anyway. Or I could be entirely wrong and it's actually not a memory problem, but for the sake of the stream, let's just say that it is. Had to go to another motherboard and steal my 2 4-gig sticks out of it. And this is our G-Skill. And this is known good memory. It looks like, I think when I used to do these A-series, I would put faster memory in it. And it seemed to like it good, but I don't know. Chime in if you've used these motherboards and processors. Let me know what experience you have with it. All right, let's turn it back on. Go ahead and clear the CMOS again. We got different numbers. We're posted. Look at that. It is going through the numbers and it posted. We have 8 gigs of RAM in there for total memory. The build date was 8/22 of 2012. Oh, system date and time. Is it right? I don't think it is. No, it's about a week off. Yep, we got it, David. I appreciate you posting that up there on the 54. I figured it was the memory doing it. But we got it to post here. It's showing a BioStar motherboard. What is our CPU and stuff, though? Let me see if I can find that in here. AA85B A2T, which is a Hi-Fi A85W motherboard. So that is our motherboard chipset. We don't need that. I think there's a way to go to advanced. We do have a UEFI BIOS, so that's pretty cool. Hardware monitor, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. It's not overheating, so that's good, right? Let's go to advanced. That's not working either. Huh. Let me see what I can find here. PCI Express. I'm kind of just going through the BIOS settings a little bit. We do know the date's off on it, so probably a bad motherboard battery if I'm going to assume on something this old. All right, CPU configuration. Here we go. We are looking at an AMD A10 6800K APU with Radeon HD graphics. The quad core running at 4100 megahertz. And it says the microcode is not loaded. Whatever that means, but that's what we got. So an A10 6800K. This is an old AMD APU, which is really cool. I haven't messed with one of these in a long time. And I wonder what I did with my R9 270, because it seems to me like I have one. And it came in one of the marketplace finds that I got. And I think that we can crossfire them, but I'll look for that on a different stream. I think we got one that posts. Let me get you off there, off the stand here, so you can see what I'm looking at and go over this board with me. We're a little down on light because I'm doing the stream later, so we don't have the natural daylight in here. But we got our lights, but I noticed a bulb burnout right as about the time I started the stream, because you know I've been out of town. So there's the motherboard we're looking at. There's the 2 memory modules we put in it. There's the model number for it right there. And we'll go across here. just so you can take a look at what I'm looking at here. And we are hooked in just using the onboard graphics. There's our HDMI cable right there. So we're running the onboard graphics on this thing, and we got it working. So we'll try to get you to the screen as much as possible. If I tug on that USB too much, though, I didn't get a longer one yet, it will unplug you. So there you go right there. You can see it at the top. That's what we're looking at. So this one wasn't too much of a fight. Yeah, I do watch Tech Yes City. I absolutely do. He's one of the good ones for sure. So we're booted up with it. That's good. We're not booted up, but we're posted. I don't have a hard drive hooked to it, and I'm probably not going to do that. I don't usually do that on these live streams. I just want to test these boards to verify they work. These boards come out of a deal I had with a subscriber. So I had somebody reach out to me on email, and he had a bunch of old motherboards. Well, when I say a bunch, he had a few old motherboards and some old graphics cards, and he asked if I was interested in them, and he sent me pictures of them. So I made a deal with him, and he cut me a heck of a deal on this stuff. So I got to give a shout out to Ron Clevenger, I believe it is. I believe that's his last name. I'd have to look at the box to know for sure. So that's your shout out, buddy. The first board I'm testing right here, the BioStar A85W with the A10 6800K. I can confirm it works perfectly. At least until we put a hard drive on it. And I don't think I have any more SSDs laying around here. I really don't. We're still using a small power supply, so I know for a fact that we ain't really got enough horsepower to push a graphics card. I could probably push my 1050 or something, but that's not going to allow us to test these other ones over here because I got some graphics cards on the deal. I'm not going to go over all the stuff that I got out of the deal because that's not what we do on the live streams. On the live streams, we literally test motherboards that either I know have a problem or don't work. So since this one went quickly and we got it to post, we're going to get it down and out of the way, and we're going to throw another one up here. We're going to throw one that has been causing me problems. The cool thing about this is, and it might go on a Tuesday video, we might be able to do a pretty cool nostalgic build with that. If I do in fact have an R9 270, I'll put another Crossfire build together with one of these because they were a lot of fun to mess with back in the day. And like I said, I build them for my kids' computers and stuff. So I don't see you guys chatting it up. I know Brian is, Chris Mason. Good to have you two in the stream, but I think the last stream had more people. We'll see if people come in. I thought holding these streams later would be better, but I don't know. Yeah, Tech Yes City is a good one. He likes messing with this old stuff too. I've been doing this a long time. 3 boys that all grew up gaming. My youngest one still, he probably games the most out of every one of us, all the kids and even me. I do iRacing 2 days a week. We're in our off season now though, so we got a mini series going on Tuesday night, so I'll still do that. I'm unhooking this to get it out of the way so we can get our next victim up here. Or maybe I'll be the next victim. We'll see. I hope not, but I got some more motherboards from him, but I don't want to do those yet. Man, that chipset is hot. I'm reaching on the bottom of that board, and it is burning my hands. So here's one that I have had boot before, but you want to talk about a board that has really just pissed me off. This Asus board right here. It is Crossfire ready, anti-surge. Oh, the cooler ain't on it. So do I have a CPU in it? I do. What do I have in it? It's got the Xeon. Shoot, my eyes are getting worse as I get older, so these are fun to read. I don't have my magnifying glass either. I don't know what that says we got. We're just going to pretend it says that we have a Xeon CPU. Oh, where's my really expensive thermal paste at? Oh, there's my battery box. We dang sure ain't got no batteries left in that thing. Oh, great. Grand. Perfect. I got a whole tub of thermal paste. I got a tube of it, and I got a tub up. There we go. We'll just use my most expensive thermal paste. How's that? Let's get some thermal paste on it. We're going to go motherboard number 2. Let's see how we do on this one. I ain't going to waste my $25 CPU paste, so we're going to put a little bit on it, not a lot. And it'll either do two things here. It'll either post or it won't. Not going to do any different than them two, though. So we're going to put my least favorite CPU cooler on here. I hate these things. Hopefully that you guys watching hate these things equally as much as I hate them. But these Intel coolers suck. They always have and they always will. But that's what we got. So that's what we're going to work with here. And you can see that those pins will just push down, so you got to push them in. And then you got to get them where they go down into the holes here. And that's always fun. But once you get them to start, you can go down in there, then you can usually start clipping them in and they'll stay. We're going to use the same memory we just used in the other motherboard. We know it's good and we know it works. Did I break that blade off? Not yet. I was probably pretty close to breaking it off. Let's get this thing plugged in and fired up. We will use a graphics card since we have a Xeon. Oh, look at that. 8-pin, and we're going to shove a 4 in it, but it should go anyway, I would say. So let's go slots 2 and 4 on this one. It'll either post or it won't. We're going to find out. I have messed with this board before, and I've had problems with it. So this is the one when I threw it in a junk pile last time I said I wasn't touching it again, and look what I'm doing. Yep. So we got the memory in 2 and 4. We're going to get all of our stuff out. Got to get our power cord, our HDMI cable, our keyboard and mouse. Oh, look at that. We do have a PS2 port, so I'm a fan of that. That means my keyboard's going to work, so I can hit the post button. All right, get our HDMI plugged in. I don't think the Xeons have onboard graphics, but I could be wrong on that. Oh, I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things after being gone for a week and a day, actually. I got back late Tuesday night, so let's hit the power button. There we go. All right, we got fans spinning. That don't mean nothing when it comes to this thing. I do have a keyboard and mouse lit up, but I have 0 display on the screen. So that's what this thing does. So we got, okay, so here's what we got. We definitely have a post because our keyboard and mouse is lit up, but we have 0 display. So nothing displayed on the screen. So I'm not sure what the deal is. This is what I fight with this thing. So what I am going to do is shut it back off. And what are we going to try? Clear CMOS maybe? Let's try that. So we got a jumper here for the CMOS. Let's go ahead and jump it and try clearing the CMOS and see if that does it. This is a board that I got in a buyout on Marketplace. Okay, that should have cleared the CMOS, I would think. So let's go ahead and pop it back in the right spot, and it's going to take off automatically as soon as I do that. I guess that could be good, bad, or indifferent. We got keyboards lighting up again for a post. We displayed. Look at that. You can't make that stuff up. You can't make it up. We just displayed. All right, and I'll tell you exactly what we got now. Man, I can't believe that. Oh, no bootable devices detected. System will enter the BIOS setup utility. That's fine. It's showing we have a Xeon E3 1230 V2 running at 3.3 gigahertz with, of course, the 8 gigs of DDR3 memory at 1600 megahertz. CPU temperature 36 degrees Celsius, Thursday 7/17/25. So that means what? The battery's good. I probably put a new one in, it's why. I've messed with this board a lot, but the reason it was in the junk is because I couldn't get it to post. And I don't know what we did differently here than the last time I messed with it, but this time we got it posted. What do you know? It was sitting in the junk pile. If we shut it off though, will it post again? That's the thing. Yeah, BIOS clear did it that time, but this is the one that I think that I had it do this before, and I put it together all the way in a build, and it messed up again. So this one's giving us some problems. I'm going to shut it off and try it again to make sure it's consistently posting. I have an I/O shield for this probably in the scrap box over there too, so I'll have to dig it back out. Yep, we're going to post again. Hit the delete key, F1, whatever, try to get into the BIOS. It'll go into the BIOS anyway because we don't have anything hooked up. We did it twice in a row. So there we go. Cleared the BIOS, board number 2 lit. Gosh, let's find another one. Let's just keep doing this. Let's find us another board. It's still early into the stream. We've only been going for about 27 minutes now, so we're going to... I don't know, should we start testing graphics cards now? Well, we can't. I need a bigger power supply to do that, and I don't have one yet. This power supply is it's probably 200 watts maximum, if I had to guess. And it's got the 4-pin on it, and it has no PCI Express cables or nothing. So PCIe cables to hook up to the... It has no power for the graphics cards. That's the best way to put it. And this board's probably going to be broke after I get this power 24-pin ATX unplugged because it don't like to come out. And we're not going to leave our memory in it, but we're also not going to put it back in a junk pile because we got it to boot twice consistently, right? So tell me if you guys like seeing the older stuff like this, me going through the older stuff and getting it to boot or trying to get it to work. I like messing with the older components. I'm going to set all these good boards to the side. I can tell you that I don't have enough cases or anything to put these together, but as I go through builds and do them, I acquire that stuff on Marketplace all the time, so now that I'm back, I'm going to have to get back to my Marketplace finds and stuff. What do we got next over here? Let's see. If I had a CPU cooler for this one, we'd try it real quick. That's a DDR4 setup. Let me just get in here. We got graphics cards, boxes. Oh, here we go. How about this? This is going to be our next try right here. This looks like a ATX board maybe, or an ITX board. It's a tiny one. You ready for it? Asus A55 BME. So A55 BME. That's our next component. This one come out of the deal I made with the other guy. Well, we had Mushkin Essentials in there. Let's throw that to the side. We're going to go with known good RAM in this. How's that? I don't know what this is. Maybe an Intel, maybe not. I don't see any USB 3.0, or do I? No, I don't. I think this one might be an old school board. Maybe an old school Intel. No USB 3 though. So that could be cool or not. Oh, here we go, hot plugging boards again. You'll catch me do that every once in a while, but I try not to do that too much. 4-pin on the CPU, so that's what we got. That's nice. Let's let's go ahead and go with a graphics card on this. So let's use our 1050 test card and hook that up here. And let's see what we get on this one. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. It's fun messing around with these things just to see what we got. And we know what we can use later in different builds and stuff when we're messing around. So this one does have an I/O shield with it. I don't know that it'll work or not. I mean, I haven't tested it yet, so you're going to find out with me whether or not we can make it work. So here we go. Power supply is on. Where do we jump this one at? There it is up here. So that should be the top 2 pins, I would guess. Look at that. We got fanage. So we're spinning fans. We've got known good memories. Did I see a flash? No. We got no post. Nothing on the keyboard or mouse at this point. So we got a 0 post on this one. I'm going to let it run for a minute. It didn't do no memory resets or anything too. And if this is an older board, it might like some of that older memory I had out, right? It might not like this DDR3 1600. So the, what is that, is it 12800 memory? Yep, 12800 CL8D. That's because it's an 8 gig kit. Let's set that up there. All right, I had that Samsung memory, which is, let's see what it is here. Oh, I think that's 12800 too. So we want the old school memory. Right there, 10600R. That's probably the original. Lovely PC people, that's right. Small block Chevy guy mostly, huh? Yeah, I mess with my small blocks. I got one sitting on my stand in the shop that I just rebuilt that I actually need to get back to get it all the way together and fired up. So maybe we can put that on a video one day. PC videos cheer me up, being depressed, needing to live in Ukraine for 1 year, being deported, having to leave my disabled boy. Oh, I hate to hear that. I'm glad that the PC stuff makes you happy, though. I know it's a tough world for sure. And I, like most of you, don't like seeing all this, you know, the wars and stuff going on. I'd like to just see them end, and I'd like to see the world at peace, to be honest with you guys and gals. Yeah, originally I built it to go back in. I had a, what we call in the States, an OBS Chevy. So it was a 1994 Chevy Silverado, and I literally built that truck before I built my shop. So I built it in the dirt, in the Florida heat and sun. And I spent 2 years building it. I painted it, rebuilt the motor, rebuilt the transmission in it, all myself. So everything that was done to it, I redid all the interior. And then a guy offered me way more money than what he should have for it, so he now owns that truck. And the 350 that I had, I originally put it was an OBS Chevy, old body style. So I originally put a 283 that I bought off Marketplace and rebuilt in it. And the stock 350 I was rebuilding to put back in it, and didn't have it done when I sold that truck. So I got the 350 done now. It's got brand new cranking rods in it. No aluminum heads on it. I'm going to run Vortec heads on it. So we got memory swapped out. Let's try this thing again. I don't know if that's going to do it or not, but we're going to try it. We went with older memory. Yeah, someone else had told me at one time that I need to start streaming the car stuff, because that's another love of mine. This stuff, I've been doing all of it just as long, I think. I started messing with PCs in roughly what year did I get married? Shoot. Probably 1998, maybe 1997. Well, before that I've used them, but I didn't start building them until about 97 or 98. We got nothing on here. So how do we clear the CMOS on this board? Clear. Oh, we got a jumper. Look at that. We like jumpers. They make it easy, don't they? Except for they didn't make this one easy where a guy can get his big mittens and poles in. So OBS Chevy is old body style. That's the best way to look at that, because that's just the nickname for it here in the States anyway. So that jumper doesn't want to come off, which means it's stuck on there. And then the guy has to wonder why it's stuck on there. Except I got it to move with the screwdriver. Gosh, it's still tight. Those pins look a little rusty too. Maybe moisture on the board? I don't know. Let's clear it though, because sometimes we can clear it and have good luck, and other times we can clear it and have zero luck. So we'll just go with clearing it. All right, let's put the jumper back in the right place now. Ugh. Man, it fits those pins tight. That could be a good thing though. It could be, it might not be, I don't know. I got my fingers crossed. Let's see what it does. No such luck on this one, so no post yet. Oh, dropped my screwdriver too. We'll pick that back up. We got no post on this guy. Let's shut it down. And if any of you watched my last video I posted on Tuesday, a little update on that. I have not got iRacing to work on Linux yet because I was gone for 8 days. And I come back and mess with it a little bit and I give up. And I decided that I'm going to try Bazite Linux. I don't think it's DDR2 because the DDR3 memory fits in it. So I'm pretty sure it is a DDR3. It's got AI Suite 3. It's a A55BM board, Asus. A55BME. Where is the model on this motherboard, though? It's got a UEFI BIOS in it, so I know for a fact it'll take DDR3. DDR2 boards didn't have UEFI. So that'll do that, but maybe it's got a bad memory slot and we just need to try both of them, one single stick at a time. I don't know. Maybe we could look at the CPU. No, you're good. You're good. It doesn't have a single USB 3 port on the back of it. But to be completely honest with you, it's only got 4 USB 2.0 ports on it. This is an ITX board. It is tiny, tiny. Maybe a micro ATX, but I don't think so. It looks more like an ITX. It's tiny. We got one in here now, so let's try that. Sometimes you just got to mess around with the memory. We did that last one 2 weeks ago, the last stream, and it worked great. You're fine. You're in here. That's all that matters. Don't matter if you come in late or not. The important thing is that you're here, and we still got no post on this guy. Maybe we'll do this. Nope, we can't plug HDMI in, but we can plug DVI. So let's see if we can take the graphics card out and get it to post off the motherboard. How about we try that? We'll take our DVI cable, we put the HDMI cable into it. We're going to plug it into the motherboard right here. Yank that graphics card out. And let's go for round 15. Round 15 right here. We'll fire this bad boy up. I'm not getting anything from the keyboard or mouse either. So it's like it's completely dead. And it's likely that the board is dead. But that's okay because I'm going to pull out one more board for you tonight if we can't get this one to work. So we're going to try to get this to work. If we can't, we're going to pull out one more board. Oh, what do we got? Oh, Jay's 2 Cents put up a video. That showed up. But other than that, I think I am at my wit's end with this little guy. We might readdress this one on another day. Unplug this DVI cable right here. Get our PS2 unhooked, our mouse unhooked, throw this stuff to the side. We got it turned off. We're going to pop the memory out of it. So what have we done? 2 boards now? 3 boards. And we had success on 2, not success on 3. We might revisit this one since it's a broken one and we haven't went down too far on figuring out why it's broken, bulge capacitors or anything. We might be able to look for that because it does have an I/O shield, which is nice. So let's do one more. What do you think? One more? Put it in the chat. If you want to see one more, let's do one more. I want to see one more. What the heck, right? Dig this one out of here. I got our next victim in my hand. This one looks like an Intel board. I don't know what kind of board, but a board, right? I don't know if it looks like a board. It looks like a board. I don't know what kind of board, but it's Intel. I'd guess that by the Intel cooler sitting on it. And we got to find some memory for it, but we got some sitting here. It looks like a DDR3 system. It does have USB 3.0 on it. So let's see if this one will work. I'm first going to go with the... Let's go with the 4 gig modules here. Let's see if these guys will work. I kind of want to test memory too, if you know what I mean. I want to see if any of this memory I got from that boatload of parts is any good. The other thing I got in that was a 3050 graphics card. And I believe that I might have stuck that in that Linux build I did on Tuesday night. I think that's where that graphics card's sitting. And it actually works good. But I think my problem I'm having with the iRacing on that is that I think we need to put a AMD graphics card in it, is what I think we need to do. Oh, look at that. We have an HDMI port, so let's just go ahead and not put a graphics card in this one yet, because we're just going to check it for post. So here we go. We got 2 memory sticks in 2 and 4 slot. Motherboard's hooked up. Everything's hooked up. Let's hit the power button. You got it. We got our one more right here. Let's see what it does. Who thinks it's going to light on the first try? Is this one going to work? We don't have a power button on it, so we're going to have to jump it, but put in the chat. Will it work on the first try? I'm going to hold out till I see some people chime it in there. Will it work on the first try? We found out with the last one, it either will or it won't, right? It's only going to be one of 2 ways. It'll either work or it won't. It'll work. All right, let's see. Here we go. Power switch is on. Oh. Well, there it went. It took off. It took it a minute, but it took off. Ooh, that sounds terrible, but it posted. I don't see nothing on the screen yet, but we definitely got a fan spinning. Did it shut off again? I can't tell. It took that fan about 5 minutes to take off. All right, so here's the deal. We posted, but we have no display. So let's shut it off. That means our memory worked too. Let's shove 2 more sticks in it. If we got those 2 to work, I got 2 more that matches it. Why not shove it in there, right? Oh, you see me put that graphics card, try to put it on upside down? I know you did. Let's get it to post first before we get greedy. How's that? Well, there's something wrong with this CPU fan. Watch it when I power this up. You see how graphics cards turn and that fan just, it does not want to start. Yeah, it could be. The onboard GPU could be disabled. That's why I keep these cards laying around. We posted. Look at that. Asus motherboard. Posted. It says it doesn't support the boot device because we don't have one plugged in, but what do we got? We have an Intel Core i5 4570S. And we're showing a total memory of 4 gigabytes. I thought I had 2 4 sticks in it, 2 4 gigabyte sticks. So maybe it ain't showing both of them. Let's get that memory out of there. Unless one's not working, it says, oh. Yeah, that's what it is. We either got a bad DIMM slot. It's showing A1 and A2. Well, it's going to go down here, so let's check. B2 shows a Kingston 4 gig slot. Oh, we got 8 gigs of memory showing up. No, it says total memory is 4 gigs. It's showing both sticks here. It's showing a Hynix in 1 in the A2 slot, and the B2 slot is showing a Kingston 4 gig stick. Both of them are 1300 megahertz, but the total memory is only showing at 4 gigabytes. So one of those sticks is bad. I wonder which one it is. I'm going to go with the one in the 4th slot. I think that's the bad one. So let's get it out of the way. Let's find another Kingston. How's that? Let's try this guy in there and see if we get 8 gigs of RAM. You can color me shocked. This one lit up, right? It lit right up. So let's hit the go button again. That fan, though, it's struggling to get going, guys. I'm not making that up. And it sounds terrible. I don't know if you can hear that, but this thing sounds terrible. We changed the memory out, and guess what? We didn't post this time. So we got no keyboard or mouse lit up. Which means what? That the bad one wasn't in the 4 slot. Oh, you're right. They are, aren't they? If they end in R, they're server RAM. I think our bad memory... Let's just go with the memory we know works. I'll mess with all that stuff some other day. So we want to get 8 gigs shoved in here to see if both of our slots work. Let's do that. We'll use our known good working memory. We're not going to go down the road of testing memory in it because I can do that on my own and not waste your guys' time. Or mine, but I guess when I'm testing it on my own, I'm wasting my time anyway, right? Man, that CPU cooler is, I think it's seen better days. That's all I'm going to say. It sounds awful when it starts up and, oh, we're posting. We know we got known good memory now. Does that have, it does. This has USB 3.0 header on it. Oh, so that, you guys and gals know I'm not afraid to make a build out of this one. That's a fact. All right, we're showing 8 gigs of DDR3, 1333 megahertz in the A1, A2, and the B2 slot both. XMP is disabled, which is fine because I think those are 1600 megahertz sticks anyway. So we don't really need the XMP, fine. Well, this G-Skill I got in here says is 12800R, I'm pretty sure. And it's not server memory. It says right on it that it's desktop. So let me make sure that's right. No, it don't. It says 12800CL. Where did I get the R from? Maybe I do have some server memory up here. I do. That 10600 is an R. So that Hynix is server memory. What do we got here? I'm going to read it because I'm curious now. Yeah, R is registered, so that would be server memory. You're exactly right. I'm glad you caught that because I missed it. That one's conveniently tore off, so a guy don't know what it is. This is the same 10600R, so we know that's registered memory. Another 10600R, registered memory. Good catch. That would be why it actually did boot with the server memory. It did post with the server memory too. So that actually worked. I don't know how, but it did. Some boards will read both. I've had more than one board that would read desktop or server. Some of the Intels will, especially if you got Xeons in them. This one doesn't, though. It's a 4th gen. I'll take it back off here so I can show it to you. That's the best way to do it. This has a good UEFI BIOS. It's kind of similar to that Asus board that I got that doesn't like to shut off. Except I believe that's a ROG board. And this one is not an ROG board, but it's still a nice board. Somewhere I believe I had one just like this. And I put it in a system that I sold. So here you go, right here. There's the 4th gen Intel. It does have an 8-pin header, but I only have a 4-pin. Our GTX graphics card on it. Give you a full look at the board right here. This did come from Ron Clevenger on the deal I got. And I can't get over here too far, but there you go at the top. Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM. You see our temperatures running there, so even though the fan looks don't start good, sounds like garbage, it's still cooling. That's all that matters, right? This we might build something out of. I mean, this is definitely, it's still got potential being a 4th gen for me. Put 16 gigs of RAM in it, and I can guarantee you with an i7 that we can play quite a lot of games on this thing. That's, how many boards did we do? 4. And how many did we get to post? 3. We did good tonight. And I think we had IO shields for all of them. So we'll stack that in the good area, and we'll know that we have some working boards that we can use for we'll have some working boards that we can use for other systems. But these Thursday night streams are going to go for about 1 hour. I'm not going to go much longer than that. So we're getting close to our hour point. I'll talk to you guys for a few minutes here. Kind of recap what we went through and what we did today. And this, I've got a ton of old boards. So we're just going through these old boards, pulling them out. We're going to see what post, what we can use, and where we can use it. So the A10 6800K, which was the first one we did, I think I have an R9 270. And if I do, I know that it'll crossfire with that APU. Because I've done it before. Will it set the world on fire? No, not by any means whatsoever. But it does make it a little fun to mess around with those A-series boards. I used to do it back in the day when those boards were good budget gaming boards. It was just a good budget gaming system in the day. You could game on the cheap with them. And I did it because when you got 3 kids and yourself gaming, the cost of this stuff starts adding up. And that's why I had a lot of leftover and abundant parts anyway. When I would build another system for one of the boys, or when I would build myself one, you would have leftover stuff. And I sold a lot of PCs. It's kind of what got me flipping PCs to begin with. I started flipping PCs to pay for our gaming, literally. That's how I paid for it from the beginning. I thought, you know what, if I can flip these PCs, then we can pay for the gaming. So that's how it originally started. And then it kind of morphed into this, and now I got a whole room back here that's basically full of computers and tech stuff. So in 2019, I thought, I'll start Sensation. And that's when I come up with a name and stuff. And then I never got to posting because I was always too busy. So fast forward to this year, where the YouTube channel finally started. And I'm happy I did it. I like doing the live streams here on Thursday nights. And I love reading the chat here. Only a few people, though, like 4 or 5 people took off in that chat, and I appreciate that. I'd like to see more people get engaged in that. The live stream, and tell me, comment or type it in right now in the live chat. If you want me to test other stuff, tell me what you want me to test on the live streams. So we're still open on that. I don't have to just sit here and test motherboards. We can plug other stuff in. I can get us a test power supply to do graphics cards. In fact, I still have to take the power supply out of that Alienware and swap it out. So I'll probably go ahead and do that. Well, it wouldn't do no good because all we have is one. It might work. I got one of these burn your house down adapters right here. The SATA to 8-pin. Don't use that. But in a pin, no, we can't use that on that power supply because it ain't got no dang SATA cables. That power supply is worthless, I'll tell you right now. But it's actually in the machine that is powering this live stream tonight. My editing rig, I love my AliExpress build, my X99. But do you know it does not have a USB-C in it? It really drives me nuts because the microphone plugs into USB-C and the AliExpress build does not have it. So there you go with that, right? Darn my luck. But it's good to have 3 out of 4. I guess 3 out of 4 is not bad, right? 3 out of 4 is not bad. We got 3 out of 4 to work, so that's not bad. But anything that... We'll get a different graphics card. That way we can go through. I got a bunch of... or a different power supply. And I have a bunch of graphics cards to test. I also need to get whatever rig I'm going to use to screen capture this stuff done and hooked up. That way we could start using the capture card and you can look not just at me or what we're working on, but you can see the screen as well. So that is something that I'm going to work on. There was something else I got to. Oh, I got a green screen. You guys want to see that? We'll set that up real quick if you want to see it. So I bought this from someone off a marketplace. I'm going to go grab it now. I think I only set it up to test it. But it might fit behind me back here now that I redid the floor back there. But we'll see. It might not. And I might tear down half my house getting it over here, but... Ooh. Well, there went one box. I really got to get this room cleaned out. I'm going to focus on that. I got to get this studio built out the way I want it. So it comes in a nice carrying case right here. You can see it. That is an Elgato green screen. So let me show you exactly what it is. If I can get this thing opened up. And if I didn't have those computers sitting there, it would give me room here. We still might have some space. I don't know. Get the lid opened up on it. And let's raise it up here. We can test it out, actually. All right, so that put me behind a green screen, and it blocked my light out, all in the same thing. Oh, why is that falling over? I have to figure out how to anchor that bad boy down. It's either falling on me or... That's not right. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. So there it is. There's our green screen right there. David, take it easy, man. All right, let's close this back down. When I get the space cleared out, I think that's going to come in handy on some of the streams. Or maybe I didn't need it at all. But I thought it was a pretty cool thing to show you there. So I guess that's going to do it for the live stream tonight. It was a fun one. We had success at 3 out of 4 motherboards. I think we're going to revisit the other one, see what CPU's in it, maybe swap that out and see if it works. But that's going to do it. Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, videos drop. And Thursday night, either 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., just turn the notifications on and you'll know when we go live. But it's good to be back. Good to be back doing a live stream again. Thank you, guys and gals, for tuning in. And I'll catch you on the very next Sensation video or live stream. Thank you once again, and have a good night. Well, get the camera to go off, I guess. Camera's off now, but take care. Thank you, guys. Thank you, gals, for tuning in. 19 concurrent.